Okay, it's our time again with Married at First Sight Nashville. Yeah, we had a pretty interesting episode with our five couples. First, we actually had the weight conversation come up again. We have one groom that's not spending enough time, and then there's a game of Never Have I Ever. Welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T, and I got another recap for you guys. Married at First Sight Nashville, Season 16, Episode number 10. Love is up in the air. And without any further ado, let's talk about this episode. So it's clear that the producers realize that it appears that most of these couples that they put together are more than likely to get divorced, because during this episode, they push the couples to interact on dates and have some deeper conversations. And despite all of the efforts, guess what? My opinions is still not changed about these couples. Still looks like most of their marriages seem to be pretty much doomed. But I guess we got to wait till decision day and we got to go on this journey with them. We got 5 weeks left. Some of the spouses confront their deep questions. They look inward. Other couples try to build love through shared adventures. We had a sailing event. We had a spa night. We had a heart-to-heart. And out of all of that, not all of the couples are seeing eye to eye. And we first start with Christopher and Nicole. Now, there is no doubt that Nicole continues to hint that she loves her husband, Chris, and it's obvious that she wants him to say it first, but he's not quite ready to make that commitment. Now, later, he makes the mistake of telling his wife that he has made some comments that she might not like.
I have some body insecurity stuff, like not quite where I want to be.
I think you look great, so
thank you.
Please, I understand
No.
you want to look good for me, but you to do things for you because I am very attracted to you as is. So please don't feel like, you have to do something because you want me to feel a certain way.
That's the way, I want you to feel the same. I just wanted to let you know, I was asked the question, appearance and things like that. One of the things I did say that I wanted to make sure, I told you because I don't want you to, see anything later and get upset about it. Appearance-wise, I said beautiful smile, beautiful face, but I did say a little thicker than I normally go for, but not in a bad way.
It is a little jarring to hear, your husband say something that could be perceived as somewhat insulting. Please just avoid the thick because this is something that could potentially be hurtful to me.
So apparently he told the guys that she is a little thicker than what he usually go for. And we remember that whole situation with Clint. Now, I appreciate the fact that he told her the truth, though, but not sure why he made the comment in the first place, unless, men in the conversations, that's why I usually stay out of that space. Naturally, she's taken aback to hear that he commented on her physical features, but she tries to educate him on why saying something that she has not said about herself could be hurtful coming from him. Something tells me that, I don't know, this might come back up later, or maybe he'll just move on from it and learn from this. So I guess we got a little bit of a hint of change between Clint and Gina. Clint visits Gina's salon this week to see where she works and meet the staff. Now, although he appreciates her entrepreneurial spirit, he worries that she may not have a work-life balance. And when he speaks with his mom, who's also an entrepreneur, she reminds him that she may be able to set her own schedule now, but in the beginning stages, she got to put in a lot of groundwork. And honestly, I do believe people make time for what they want to make time for. So if Gina truly wants to continue her marriage, she'll make time for their relationship. And in this episode alone, they went on multiple dates. They had the sailing date. They had a trip to, I think it was some racing and riding a bull and all of that. So they got a lot. So I don't think she's someone who's just a workaholic, because she definitely made time this particular episode. And it was actually nice to see them actually getting along, her actually trying to complete the process, because at one point she was ready to go home. She didn't even want to move in with Clint. But it seems like they're slowly warming up to each other, at least as friends, I should say. But in the meantime, look like they're having a good time. So we'll definitely have to see where this goes. But do I think they got a long-term future? No, that's just my opinion. So next up, let's talk about Jasmine and Arris. And our boy Arris had COVID. He was out for the count for a little bit, had a little bit of fever, and he was definitely lethargic. So much so that we even saw our girl Jasmine catering to her husband, nursing him back to health. And he did give her a 7 out of 10, which the fans was not happy about that. And even when it came to the dog grooming, because he did assist her with that, she gave him a 6.5 out of 10. Now, I gotta say, with a 6.5 and a 7, that is above average, 5 being average, 10 being perfect. And we all know nothing is perfect. However, I can definitely see when he had the conversation about being close to being in love, he retreated because he felt things was getting a little bit too serious and he didn't want to get his heart broken, and he hasn't been in love since. And I mean, that could have been from a lack of maturity back at that time, but it's now 10 years later. Now, they do suggest a game where they ask all these sexual questions in a game of Never Have I Ever. And he begins to kind of give her the side eye, kind of look down at her because she hadn't had the same adventurous experiences as him before getting married. And I got to give a side eye because these days I'm hearing most men want a woman that don't have as much as what men have in some cases. I could be wrong. However, Jasmine made it clear that she wanted to begin to have a deeper conversation and connection. And once again, the conversation was focused around sex, of course, with the game. And yeah, a lot of fans thought it was a very superficial conversation, but that's what they were comfortable in the moment. And she took it in stride. But I know anybody else probably would have been completely turned off. And finally, our fourth couple. I know I said 5 couples at the beginning of this video, but we lost Dominique and McKinley. We got to talk about Shaq and Kirsten. Now, Kirsten is worrying that Shaq is not putting in enough effort into spending time and getting to know her. Now, given this whole expedited nature of the experiment, one would think that this would be the time to discover as much as possible. But Shaq, according to her, hasn't made any changes to his routine now that he's married. And when she confronts him on the topic, he pretty much admits in order to make her happy, he needs to be happy himself. Now, I agree with that. I also can understand when you got somebody who's going for their doctorate, he's also an entrepreneur and he works for a university. Plus, he has mentees as well. That is a lot. And I got to applaud the brother for doing all he can for himself and the community. But when you have a wife, I mean, you got to incorporate her at some times, but she also needs to understand that he is also on his purpose to create that life that she would want in a man and that a lot of women would want, especially at a guy at his level. Once Kirsten does finally meet the mentees, Shaq spends so much time with them, and during the conversation, he revealed that he denied an out-of-state job offer because he didn't think that it would be beneficial to the marriage. Now, I don't know what that is. I didn't go into detail. I did see the after party. Kirsten said that she wasn't happy about the fact that he didn't discuss it with her, which I agree. But it looked like he made a big step. So I got to give him kudos for that at least, but I just hope he don't resent it later. Then they have a lot of dates with spa dates and conversation. And this is where it got a little bit sticky because he opened up about how he felt about the scar on his face, how he felt about his upbringing. However, she did not want to open up, and she was trying to say things that he already know. And he was like, look, you got to let that guard down, girl. Let down your guard. He revealed a lot about himself and his insecurities. Kirsten, I know you're struggling, but this is supposed to be your husband. And hopefully at some point, because I think you two could work at this if you get out of your own way, maybe you could really be a good couple together. Okay, so let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. Do you think that there is hope for Kirsten and Shaq? Do you think it's disrespectful for Arris to keep pushing Jasmine to speak about sex? And then also, too, what about the whole situation and the talk about weight between Chris and Nicole? Let me know your thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for other recaps and updates on this channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Bye.